Well, Andrew, welcome to the program, and I know you're busy now trying to sort everybody else out, but how are you placed personally? How's your farm coped with Gabrielle?
Yeah, well, we got flooding on the Oroa River, which our farm bound borders against. Just probably very similar level, or just slightly below the level we got in 2004, but it didn't really have the same silting or debris. It was mainly just water that obviously came across the ranges, and so yeah, there was definitely flooding. Went through paddock of maize, so there's a bit of maize lost, a few trees I got to pick up, fences I got to replace, tracks that have disappeared that need to be fixed. Just a few, yeah, probably 100 meters of tracks that have gone, and probably the most pressing thing was our pump shed for the bore. Nearly ended up in the river. So at the moment it's half hanging into the river, and I've got it stropped to a couple of trees so it doesn't disappear. Thankfully, the pump's still managing to run, but as soon as I'm finished this interview, it's down to the river to assemble I've got the new shed nearly set up, so I've just got to get everything positioned, and tomorrow we swap all the gear over, so before the old shed drops into the river.
Wow, and of course, I guess you could say you got off lightly with what's happening everywhere else. What the hell do we do? I mean, it's infrastructure really from this point on for the government, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the main message is getting through of where the issues are right now in various areas. It is about power, it is about comms, it's about access. Those are the key things people need solutions for. In particular, knowing the time frame of, okay, power is going to be it 1 week to be able to be restored. Okay, cool, I can carry on with the sort of number 8 fix I've got going on right now. Or if it's going to be 2 months, actually, that's a whole different discussion, and people need to make different decisions for that. So I guess as hard as it'll be, what would be, I think, useful for a lot of farmers in these affected areas is just knowing with some certainty how long they've got to work through this and come up with alternate plans.
Now, you've also been in touch with the likes of the banking, Inland Rev, other agencies to sort of suggest that they, I guess, go easy on some of these tough deadlines.
So with Inland Revenue, that's by the time this interview plays, it should be announced that there won't be interest added for missed payments from particularly the really heavily affected areas, the provinces, and those that may be affected by the flooding and whatever else stormed through at them, and they don't have connectivity, etc. They will be able to get that sort of dispensation that they won't face interest payments. Everything's online now, so if you've got no connectivity, you've got no power, you can't pay that GST bill. It's not physically possible. And so, yeah, the IRD realised this. So for those that are in the really immediate areas, they don't actually have to, like Gisborne, East Coast, Hawke's Bay, they don't have to worry about it. It's just assumed that you can't. Of course, if you can, do pay it, do the right thing, but don't stress about how do you pay it if you can't access the internet to do it.
Of course, a lot of other farmers in more settled areas, I mean particularly the South Island, looking at ways to help. What is your suggestion for colleagues who want to do something? What can they do?
Yeah, I think the key thing right now is probably money. If you want to donate, it's money donations. It's much easier to get from one place to another, and it's awesome, the generosity of people wanting to donate lots and lots of baleage and these sort of things, but right now there's a real struggle in those areas to be able to physically unload it, store it, and then get it to the farms that need it. And in a number of situations, the farms aren't that bad off for feed, because we've seen the paddocks covered in mud, but generally those were all sort of orchards, and most farms will have areas that of their farm that haven't been affected. So the feed isn't the immediate thing, it is the access. Feed will become a problem undoubtedly in the winter. So if what you want to do is donate feed, cool, just bear it in mind. And the call for that will come in a couple of months' time. There may be, as we get access, there may be the need, right, okay, we've got access to this property that desperately needs feed, so let's get some feed in there. But don't get upset if you don't see the baleage moving off your property tomorrow and landing on a paddock the day after, because it may take a little longer to work out.